What's up, everybody? Welcome to the K-Pop Kimchi Podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fanboys. I'm your host, Justin Turneau, with my co-host, Brian Limper, and we are right back at it with I-LAND2.
Yep, back at it
in
again.
In the thick of it.
The actual
show is here.
First episode for part 2 came out today. This is part 2, or I-LAND2 the Final Countdown.
Countdown. Intense.
I guess that's what the NA standard for at the beginning.
You have a new host, or I guess he's the host?
Planet Master, whatever he is. The storybook teller. Hanbin, second place.
Second place from ZB1.
Yep, got that. So
he's pretty good. Exciting. It's nice because he can actually be in there. He's actually there, but...
That's true.
Yeah, we're back in it.
Back in it. We also got our stuff for KCON all figured out.
We're going.
They did announce, I think since the last time we talked, that NCT 127 is going to be there. It was like a
good
weird late announcement.
Yep, like an hour or two before the tickets came out.
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird. So it was after the first original wave of tickets came out for the pre-order people.
Yep.
But before the actual tickets came out for the other
people.
For us. Which is kind of weird, but whatever.
Yep.
We got that done, the hotel's done, the plane's done. We just got to go there. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That should be exciting. All the boys are ready. Somehow everybody managed to get their tickets, and they'll also be there.
Little player.
I think that's the most surprising.
Little coaching tip that I have for you is when you're getting tickets with friends, make sure you're coordinating. If you're trying to get like a group tickets, make sure you're coordinating with the other people so you don't buy too many.
Okay, Josh, read the chat.
That's my advice.
You had 20 minutes to read the chat before you bought your tickets,
we had people do that, a.k.a. Josh, did that, bought 4 tickets, but guess what? Everyone already had their ticket. And then other people who coordinate and actually communicate, we find out the tickets were right next to other ones we got.
Yeah,
so
it all worked out.
Everyone's going to sit by each other, and it's going to be a grand old time. I'm really excited. I'm pretty excited, not going to lie. I was like a little bit excited, then not excited. But now I'm excited because everyone actually is going to go. So it'll be fun.
It's going to be fun to hang out with everybody. And I know I'm going to be way more excited once Purple Kiss is actually over because that's like in a couple weeks. And that's like my big one I want to do.
We are very close to that, actually.
I'm really excited for that. I got my little custom Polaroids of our selfies made so I can get them signed. And I made them all custom beanies with their names on them to give them.
Yeah.
With our logo. So that's pretty sick. But yeah, I'm pretty much just looking forward to that right now. But I'm sure once that's over, I'm going to be like, man, KCON's going to be sick to go to in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for it. I'm back around. I'm all in. It's going to be a good time.
He also bought a bunch of the high wave tickets.
Yep, as I just hated on it so much, how it's such a waste of money, blah, blah, blah. Bought 3 of them. Don't care.
Classic. We did it.
Gotta support the groups you like, so I'm excited for those. Excited for everything.
Also, since the last time we talked, there was a ton of comebacks. Signature came back.
Oh, we did. Good song.
Who's the other one?
Everglow was there.
Yeah, Everglow came back.
Pretty cool song, too.
Nyan just had a comeback, a solo comeback.
Didn't listen to that one yet.
I didn't either, but I heard a lot of people said it was good.
Looked cool. Looked fun. Looked like a good,
I'm not sure what the bar is for that, because one of our friends did say it's better than Pop, but I don't know if that's really like a high bar to make.
I thought Pop was, like, solid.
I mean, I wasn't really ever blown away by it.
I didn't, love it, but
everyone else...
It wasn't bad.
I mean, K-pop people loved it, because everybody dances to it, and, like, everybody was really into it.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look real fast.
I didn't know if that was because everyone loved it, or because it was, like, Nyan, so it's like, we kind of have to dance to this, right?
It's probably both.
Because of, like, K-pop royalty in a way, so... the new one's called ABCD, I believe. It's an alphabet.
Sunmi had a comeback.
Did not know that.
Weki Meki had a comeback. A.K.A. Disbandment.
It's over. It's over.
One that I do need to listen to that I forgot came back was Candy Shop.
Oh.
I like Candy Shop.
Very cool.
CSR made a comeback. I don't know, we never really talk about them. They're like a fun girl group. Kind of like Oh My Girlish.
There's been a lot of comebacks.
Yeah, there's been a ton. Trends actually made a comeback. They're like a boy group. Kind of popular. I don't know if you guys listen to them or not. But yeah, there was, a good amount. I'm seeing if there's any more coming. Oh, yeah, there is.
We got some coming, I know.
Rise is coming back. Evan's coming back. Wooa's coming back.
Wooa's looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks
like a complete different vibe for them.
Yoonbi's got a comeback coming up. High Key's got a comeback coming up.
Also looks amazing.
Let's see what else there is. New Jeans has their Japanese debut. Red Velvet has a comeback. TWS has a comeback.
Super excited for Red Velvet.
Chew has a comeback. Man, Red Velvet and TWS have a comeback on the same day.
Idol's coming back.
NCT Wish has a comeback. Craxy has a comeback.
There you go, Brett.
Gyubin has a comeback. Good for her.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be sick. I bet.
Great Guys has a comeback. Let's go. Last time I heard about them, they made that awesome song, Be On You. Look that up if you've never heard it.
Huh. Interesting name.
But there's a lot of comebacks. I mean, it's been pretty jam-packed for this
Yeah.
month, going into KCON month.
Very exciting.
More stuff to look forward to. We're also in the business of making a bunch of hats, because we got these patches, and I figured out how to add them to things, so that's fun. Also, not going to spoil it for anybody listening to this, but I'm making some awesome shirts for us to wear to KCON with the boys.
There we go.
So look forward to that. We'll post a picture once I get it. Or
Oh,
make
yeah.
them, or wear them, whatever's going on.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of comebacks, that's going to roll right into our segment, Not What You Came For this week.
Oh yeah.
Because a group I actually really like had a song that released today. And that group is called Shadows. Extremely difficult to look up if you just Google the word Shadows Band, because apparently there's multiple of them. But they just had a comeback or release today with a song called Climb. And this is the first song they've released in like 2 years. So
Yeah.
I was really excited about that. Pretty good song. Not going to say it's the best song I've ever had, but it's a pretty good song. And for those of you I'm sure who don't know, they are kind of like a little split-off unit or split-off group from an original group that I've talked about before on the podcast. Don't know if I've ever recommended them, but that group is Fact.
Oh yeah.
One of the all-time faves of the channel. So this is like a couple members of that have like a little side unit group that they did called Shadows that they made back in like 2017. 2 super great albums, good EP, couple good releases, but their latest one that just came out yesterday, as of 17 minutes ago, was called Climb, and that's what I'm recommending because it was
Dang,
really
it like
good.
just came out, like legit. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I did. I like listened to it when I was like driving to Chatham earlier.
Oh, nice.
Got
Very,
anything this
very
week?
sick. What was the one band that we listened to? I don't remember. I had one, but I forgot their name, so good on me for being prepared. Man, I forgot. It was a band we listened to when we were coming back from Indianapolis for something, but
Oh god, that could be anybody.
I know. All right, good segment.
All right, so whatever that band was, look out for them.
My now what you came for is be careful when you're driving. Don't go too fast or you will get pulled over.
Yeah.
That's my now what you came for.
Spoiler alert.
Got pulled over this week. Didn't get a ticket though, which is always good, or a warning actually, because you get a little piece of paper for a warning, right?
Yeah, you do.
I did not get that either, but be careful. Don't drive too fast, or they'll get you. I don't know if they're. I was trying to think of something clever there, but just don't drive too fast.
I-LAND2
Interesting episode, long
the
episode.
Final Countdown.
Final countdown.
This might be the
getting
longest
on my
episode.
final nerve.
I know, honestly. This might be the longest episode we've seen, even though it's only saying it. It's like longer by like 5 minutes.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's the longest one we've seen, right?
This is funny because I think the other ones we've seen, they were legit like an hour, like 54 minutes.
Like 57 minutes.
We're like, yes, under 2 hours, let's go. There's all this one, like, this is the longest thing I've ever seen in my life.
There it is. Yeah, this one was about 2 hours 15.
Yeah, it was pretty long. They did do a lot of stuff, though.
They did. There was
Although
a
we
lot
could have cut out,
covered.
like, 15 minutes of recap, but...
They always do too much of that.
the other thing that's kind of dumb is they, like, had the whole, like, past flashback practicing, like, struggle thing after we already saw them go through that for literally half the episode.
That was a lot of the episode was like the practice of the groups, because there's 3 songs that they were going to perform.
Oh, yeah. So, I guess before we get into that, they basically got introduced back to, like, the I-LAND thing, and they got moved to different rooms. They got re-ranked based off the producers' rankings.
Yeah.
Of, like, them. So, it was 1 through 12. And the rooms basically got split up kind of like the first room was like a palace, kind of super nice. And then the last one apparently was supposed to be garbage, but it was fine.
It literally didn't even seem that much different than the main room, the first one. It just had different color sheets.
But yeah, it was like
And maybe
still
like
nice.
a less chair.
Like you're not in ground.
It was
you're
still
fine.
super awesome, which we still never really even saw. Did we ever? I guess we'll not see ground anymore. It's kind of over.
Yeah,
with.
I think it's gone. It's like a shed.
But did we ever even see like beds in there? Like, did they?
No, we didn't. We just saw them in the practice room and in the kitchen.
No, but yeah, it's really nice. Their bedrooms now are still all
Look, they're
super
sleeping
nice.
in like army bunks.
Yeah. I didn't know. I was like, did we ever see them actually sleeping in ground? Or
No, we
kind of just
didn't.
saw the little one area?
But yeah, so they basically went and redid the rankings, and all the rankings were based off the producers, like determining what they thought they were based off their performances.
Yep.
And they had 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, 9, then 10, 11, 12.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what it was. And number 1 was Sabi.
Yep.
Number 2 was Sarang. And number 3 was Fuko. And I mean, that's pretty much all you really
All the
need to
rooms
know.
were the same.
Yeah.
I mean, they were.
And then they were like...
They acted like they're like so much different. They were not that much different. The sheet color was different.
And then they had another thing where it's like kind of like live who's going to debut badges. And they got like, there's only going to be 6 people in the final lineup.
The final group
I don't know if
is
we said that.
6, which we
Knew the whole time.
We predicted that the whole time. And the whole group the whole show's been kind of based on 6.
Yeah, I don't know why it was a surprise to anybody, really. That's been the whole thing, the whole show is like things divisible by 6 or like 12. So, I mean, It's not shocking. They keep halving everything.
Right.
So, those little badges, and they wear them. And it's like supposed to be after each evaluation or each thing they do, they get the badges. So, you like basically get to know who's going to be in the final 6.
Sure.
I guess. Which, I mean, doesn't really make a ton of sense. Because at the end, there's going to be eliminations anyways, and I'm sure the people who don't have badges are going to get in the final group.
Yeah.
So I guess it just means you have a live visual of who may be in the final group. I don't really know.
Yeah, like the active top 6. I don't know.
Doesn't
it's kind
really
of a
make a lot
random
of sense.
added thing.
Or I guess just make the other girls work harder because they won a badge or something.
Right. Possibly.
I'm trying to think of who the other 3 people were. I know Coco's one of them.
I believe...
I know... So, Sabi, Sarang, Fuko... I'm blanking on who's going to be in the show.
I don't think it was. Well, it wasn't Yuri. It wasn't Juwon. I don't think it was.
Mai.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's who the top 6 were.
Okay.
And then the bottom 6, and I don't remember the order, were Jimin, Yuri, Jiyun, Sujung, Juwon, and Yuju. So
there was like a lot of rankings times in this episode.
And in the end, honestly, none of it's going to matter because you have your final votes.
This doesn't even matter. Yeah, this one, like...
If we've learned anything from any elimination show, especially when it comes to final voting, whatever your final group of top members is going into the final show means nothing.
Right. So this was like the weird introduction to kind of start the show of like the rankings. And then they got split up into their groups, which were predetermined already.
Which is actually pretty sick.
Which is cool. The judges or whoever picked the groups.
It was like Black Label Made or Black Made Label something. It's basically like songs that had like some type of Black Label vibe to them, which I don't honestly agree with.
They're kind of like remixed.
Oh my god, one of them was terrible.
They weren't necessarily great.
No.
But there's 3 songs. And there was obviously 4 people to a song. And they separated anyone, and it was already picked.
Yeah, the producers separated them.
They just kind of like listed, and then they said who is the leader too,
which is kind of random. But the 3 ones they had were "Lovesick Girls" by Blackpink, which was Sabi, Coco, Yuju, and Jungin. The next one was "Lave and Rose," which I don't really understand why that was included in this, which is Jimin, Fuko, Sarang, and Guri. And then the last one was "I'm the Best" by 21, and that was Jiyun, Mai, Sujung, and Juwon.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, I think the groups were split up pretty good.
I like the teams.
They did a good job.
I like the teams.
Like I said, I think obviously 2 of them are from YG or Black Label, whatever, produced by Teddy. Not really sure why Lave and Rose was there. That was kind of weird to me.
I don't know.
That didn't really give me a YG vibe, or I'm pretty sure they were not produced by Teddy or anyone at the Black Label, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. It kind of seemed like it was thrown in there.
And also, anytime anybody gets a IZ*ONE song, nobody wants to do it. It's just like a kiss of death because they were just like such ridiculously good vocalists that everyone's like so afraid to do those songs.
Right.
Everyone's like, I don't want
the best one I've ever seen was the one earlier in the show. That was the best cover I've seen of one. But I think of I-LAND2 the Best, June was the leader. I know Sabi was the leader of the I-LAND2 one.
And Jimin was the leader of the...
Jimin was the leader of the other one.
Lave and Rose.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
But this pretty much like separated them in their groups, separated them in their little levels of island. Apparently, there's multiple floors. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff thrown in here. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. If you want to look at it, you can go watch the video. It's like the first 20 minutes is just random stuff.
Yeah, Hummin's like the building's kind of different now. I'm not really sure. There's still island and it still looks really fun.
So, it looks like I don't know.
It's still really, it's just like still really nice, and they kind of changed up the bedrooms now.
It's just kind of like a background stuff. It's not really necessary for the show.
Sure.
I guess unless it involves sleeping habits. I don't know. Oh, and the random encounters of Ji-yoon and Jungin that we got.
Oh yeah, so that's still a thing.
Yeah, they're like hyping this thing up a lot.
There was just some parts in this now where I'm actually starting to think that like all of this show is completely rigged. And
tell your thoughts on this.
Well, we're actually just watching like, if you watched like back in the day, which I guess they still kind of have like Flavor of Love and stuff like that, where it's like these like, super dramatic, but it's like all set up stuff.
Like Jersey Shore.
Yeah, like Jersey Shore. Yeah, like stuff like that, where it's like supposed to be reality TV, but it's all kind of scripted in a way, right, or set up. I'm kind of thinking that's what we're watching because they obviously are still kind of pitting Jungin and Ji-yoon against each other, and they make it really weird and stressful whenever they're by each other. And then we got a really weird cutaway.
Oh yeah, from flashback
from a flashback, ago. And I'm not sure when. It was in a bedroom, and it was Ji-yoon and I believe Fuko.
Yeah.
And the room was like there's like no lights on. It was a camera angle I've never seen.
Just like a random. It was random.
It's just them two. Yeah, it's like night, and they're just sitting there. And Fugo's pretty much just like, are you gonna like, I don't know, I guess just be friends with her again?
Like, do you want to give her another chance?
And then and then Ji-yoon's pretty much like, no. And then she's just like, I thought I could trust her. She hurt me so bad. And then it like was a flashback of like I guess the moment, but it was pretty much when like she got sent down to ground.
She was like mad because they switched obviously the center position.
Yeah.
And then she was mad because if you guys remember, they had to vote for like themselves and like 3 other people or something that they wanted to stay with them in I-LAND. Like it was like a weird voting thing.
Yeah.
It was like who you wanted off. It was like who you wanted to stay. But then like showed like a thing of someone else not getting any votes, but it wasn't her, which I didn't understand. So she felt betrayed that Jungin like didn't vote to keep her on I-LAND for some reason.
I just don't really know. I'm just not really sure why she's so upset at Jungin. This was like a long time ago, and apparently it's like this unhealable wound that like makes Ji-yoon so mad. And I'm not sure why we're getting this weird camera angle at night. Like who knew the camera was running when they were like it's
perfect
it's
angle
so I know like of just them two talking in the dark room. It's so fake and so set up. It's like this show's completely scripted and like
the best part about
it's not real. I was watching. I was like, this is fake now. Like all this is fake for just the TV part. Like this is
first time that we actually saw like Jungin kind of like reciprocate some like animosity towards Ji-yoon happened today, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that
normally it's just a one-sided thing.
Yeah, it's usually just Ji-yoon giving her bad looks and not even saying anything. So that's why it's kind of dumb because it's like nothing even happens. But after they kind of started off with interim checks of the groups,
and they were like judging each other,
and they were judging each other. No judges or
producers
like,
or
whatever you want to call them were there, and
they were like in charge of picking. After the performance, they had to pick the worst person in the group, and the best person in the group, and they like evaluated them basically.
And when Jungin's team went, which I mean, it's actually no surprise because in every single interim thing, she sings horribly,
everybody
like, really bad. Horrible. She was bad, and Ji-yoon kind of called her out on it. And my gosh, she looked very angry.
She was She
looked really mad. And again, I think maybe in this scripted show, they're like, all right, we really need you to be angry here. Jungin like look at her and with an angry face like and then everyone was like thank you they're all super polite and they kind of bowed. She didn't say anything.
She just like death stared.
She just stared her to death and I was like oh man. And that's when kind of we had a weird flashback of her and Fuko and I'm like who set this camera up? I don't know. It's just like a dramatic thing for the TV, but then spoiler we saw for next week. Which you knew was going to happen eventually.
We finally got the
We're finally
going
to get like the head-to-head of like
main vocal spots.
Main vocal. They have to go against each other because there's been other opportunities in the show.
And they've dodged each other.
And they've kind of ducked and, not gone. But like you knew, especially after today, how dramatic it was. You're like, they have to have their like title fight. Like that's how entertainment and this works. Like you have to have the two people go against each other. and we're gonna get it next week. So finally, something's got to give. But my gosh, I will say, Jungin looked very upset today.
This is like I said, the first time we've ever seen where she actually was kind of mad towards Ji-yoon too. But also, I feel like Ji-yoon really took the chance to really just hammer it to her.
Oh, I know.
So,
that was kind of just like a softball quest. Like that was kind of a softball where it was just like, well, because she did horrible.
She didn't do good. So I mean, she.
So it was like fair assessment, but it was like easy money there for Ji-yoon to kind of dig in on her. So I don't know I swear I would be a little more believable if we didn't have that random shot with her and Fuko. I was like, this is way too perfect. Like
the other thing that was funny is they're like trying to build like other random rivalries. Mm-hmm. Like one of them was really weird because the group with like Yuju was her, Coco, Sabi, and Jungin.
Yeah.
And Sujung was literally like, "Hey, 3 of these members are gonna debut in this group," and Yuju's like, "So am I the one not debuting?" And she's like, "Yeah," and she's like death stared her.
Yuju's tough. Like I don't know. I guess
she was like so offended by it.
She's kind of been like that the whole show, where she has a little bit of an edge. That's why I like her a lot. There was moments in this when like it seemed like other like members are kind of like fed up with stuff.
It's
and
like digging at each other.
They're not like the super happy-go-lucky. Oh, thank you. Like I'll try harder. They kind of just like don't say anything.
Or there's like
even with the judges now too. Like okay, and they kind of just like stand there, and I like it. I think we need a little more.
Normally everyone's like over the top, like polite no matter what they say to you. They'd be like, "You were terrible, you sucked, you should go home." And they'll be like,
like, thank you, like, I'll try harder, I'll try to have a better version of myself. And like, nope, there's been a little more heat going on, and I don't know, maybe that's all part of the fakeness, but I like it. It's a little more competitive, which is fun.
But yeah, so after all that happened, we had like the little interim check things we were talking about. And there's a couple like big bugaboos on each of the teams.
Yeah, there's always is.
Like the one with Jimin's team, her whole thing was she wanted to be the center. And after they went through like the kerfuffle of deciding who was going to do what, they're like, "I don't think you're very good as a center. You're like not bringing it. You're just kind of being kind of coy and awkward and shy." Which she was. I don't know what her deal was. She's like,
I don't know.
Like, intimidated. Like
I don't know what her problem is. I'm starting to like. I really believe.
My God. Okay, hold on. I forgot the whole thing with her and Sarang when they're like fighting for the thing. The editor had a heyday.
We need to talk about
because they made Sarang look like the most dominant force in the history of musical like performances and acting and anything. And every time she was on the camera, she was like sarcastically like licking her lips and like had like this little like image of like a tiger growling like she's gonna
popping
pounce
out from her face like she's like.
Time to attack.
Like Jimin would show weakness or timidness. She's like, time to attack. Like, time to attack. Let's go. And I guess that's what they were going for. But yeah, the editors of this, the special effects team, my gosh, you were having a day. We saw a tiger pop out of Sarang's face multiple times.
We also saw a
and there was a noise
go into Sujong's body.
Yeah, like multiple times. It was crazy. And there was like a roar too.
Yeah, it was like
Sarang was just
the eye of the tiger. She was, and then the best part was after all that, she didn't even get the part.
Yeah, no, she didn't. They still voted for Jimin. I don't know what Jimin is. What's wrong with her? But she has issues.
Yeah, I don't know. She's like,
got issues.
I don't know if she's like in her own head or what.
I think she's psyched out. I think she's.
It's what it seems like. Honestly.
Like I think she literally has like the yips because everything is in her favor in this show. The judges
like her.
They're honest with her, but they love her. And she has the most fan support of anybody, easily.
Even before they went and performed in front of the live audience. Like, you could tell from all the voting and everything, they love her. Like, everybody wants her debut. Like, she's the most popular person by far.
And
after Ling Ling, who's eliminated.
And R.I.P. to Ling Ling. And throughout the show, she's been given chances to be, like, the top dog, and she doesn't really take it. I think she honestly has, like, the yips because of what happened on the previous show.
My other thing is, she's definitely, we said it earlier, or I said it to you earlier, it seems like she has a potential to be a very good idol, but she's never going to be the main face of your group. She's like a good role player for like, you have like 2-3 really good people, and then she's like there, and like, oh yeah, she's really good too. Like a role player. And I think that's what the problem is because the judges and everyone else see her as like this superstar that has the superstar potential. But I don't think she sees that she has a superstar potential. She just wants to be an idol as her job, but she doesn't want to be like the main face. She wants to be, I mean, what did she pick when they picked the teams? She picked like the 4th position, the 5th position. That's her picking her position, right? Yeah, it's like
that's her making the choice. She had the first pick. and you have all those ones that people want, and she chose that. Like, that's where she wants to be. It's just kind of like the expectations of them and then the judges and fans doesn't seem right. And she seems like that kind of gets her in her own head where she can't get out of her own way to, like, it just makes her mess up. Like, she has no confidence. The girl has no confidence at all.
And there's like one thing goes bad, she's just like, I'm terrible.
And she just, like, her face, it's like the, like, life
she doesn't
from
even,
her
like,
face.
Look good singing.
It's just, the life from her face just goes away and she just looks blank. She has, like, a blank stare. I'm like, I don't
know if it's just for the show or what, but it definitely, the interim thing, it, like, carried over into practice. Like, she didn't sound good. She couldn't, like, her voice was like not protruding far enough. Like she was very quiet. She just did not seem like she was all there.
Yeah,
like I said, it could just be for the show. I don't know.
That's true. That's what I was saying.
Lo and behold, she couldn't sing or hit a high note. They go to the actual thing. Fine.
And it was like a high note that was like early in the song. It wasn't even like the high note. I mean, it was just such a focus on this episode was that and like her kind of overcoming that. And did she? Yeah, but was it like this grand explosion of an idol of like LeBron James' rookie game when he put up 20 plus points? Like he has arrived. No, I don't know. I think she's getting a little too protected in this show, and I'm starting to become not a fan.
They definitely like built it up to be like this huge like David versus Goliath thing with her, and then at the end it's just kind of like, what was that? Like,
and then it really
they show Goliath, and he's like, instead of being like 12 feet taller than David, he's literally like 3 inches taller.
Yeah, he's like the same height. And you're like, oh well, you got him, but like, was that kind of like this like you kind of expect her after all, because she literally could not hit this note. She's walking around the room and blah blah blah, whatever, practicing. And then I guess you're supposed to feel bad, and you're like, oh, can she do it? Which they always do usually. And you're like expecting this big monumentous note that's gonna like shake the room, and it didn't happen. She got it. It just wasn't the superstar quality. I'm just not seeing it.
Overall, the girls in this are pretty good singers. Like they're good.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when it comes to hitting like higher notes or stuff like that, all of them are very lacking in that department.
Yeah.
Like compared to other shows we've seen where some girls could just like belt it and hit every note like, perfectly. Even like some of the ones that like made groups like in the past, I'm just kind of like, why are you even here? Like, how did you even get well? If it's rigged, that's why.
Yeah, that's true.
But they could hit high notes and they could hit them consistently. Like Joe Uri and Eisman could hit high notes, you know?
Yeah.
Like Yun Jung from WJSN that was in IOI could hit them. And when she was in IOI, I didn't even know who she was. I'm like, why are you even in this group? Right. But she would kill high notes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these girls seem kind of... I've not really seen any of them that can just like really hit high notes consistently.
Just like freaking rip it out there when you're just like...
Like some of you just hear them and it just like sounds effortless.
Yeah.
Like they have a vocal range that's
just
like ridiculously good.
They have like a given talent for it, but they also like know it and they go out there and like work hard.
Like I'm a vocalist. I guess
and then it becomes... I mean, I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it, but like Bora was like that. Bora could go out there...
Bora was really
and
good.
And just freaking annihilate notes like left and right. There's no one like that on the show where they're like, I'm confident, I'm going to step up, and I'm going to go sing.
And the funny thing is, the ones that do vote for that, or do want to do that,
yeah,
they like don't do a great job of it in the beginning, and they struggle with it a lot. Yeah. Like, it really was at the point, like we're talking about Jungin, when she was in her thing, I'm like, maybe it's time for you to stop taking main vocal roles, because this is not going good for you.
I know, it's just...
Every time.
They just struggle so much with it, and you have to have the struggle in the show so people pay attention, but it's like... Does it have to be this bad?
But then it's like weird because they go to do performances and they're fine.
Yeah.
So like, why are we struggling so much?
I don't know. I don't get.
You've literally been practicing for 14 days and you can't do this yet, and then it's like this one moment of like 30 seconds and you can kill it. Like
you can't hit.
How?
You can't hit this at all. You can't even hit it in your pajamas in your bedroom in the mirror, and then when the lights are on, you're like perfectly fine. I don't know. There's like no middle ground. It's not like
maybe I just don't understand how singing works. But
yeah, maybe we're dumb. Maybe we're just dumb. But
that's like going to like do layups and you can't make a left hand layup to save your life. Like you literally cannot make one. And then it comes like Game 7 NBA Finals for the game winner, and you do like some crazy left hand layup.
Yeah, you do like
how did you do this?
Like you go like freaking Kobe up and under, like Dr. J when he like palmed it underneath the thing and like brings it up and you make it with your left hand. It's like, oh, you had it the whole time. It's like. There was no middle part of why, oh, you're getting better.
Like, why did this happen? How did this even happen?
It's just, I don't know. Jimin lacks just like a ton of confidence. But I don't know if she wants to be the guy. I don't know if she wants to be the main player.
It honestly kind of doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't seem like she does. And
she'd definitely be happy making it in like 5th or 6th place.
Yeah, and just like being a part of the team. And like the first thing,
maybe it's just like her, like how she is her personality.
yeah, it could be her personality, which is fine.
So I mean, I get she like wants to debut and she wants to be the best,
and
but
she is
from what
good.
I see, it just does not seem like she has the qualities to be
just
like the number 1 or 2 person.
Which is like what people say and like what people think, right? Like the fans and the judges. It's just like, hold on, like it's not adding up here.
But I will say, they said the same thing about Anthony Edwards, and he got drafted number 1 overall.
Man, and he's
pretty good.
He's good now. Gosh, Ant is really good.
He is real good. So,
But yeah, so I don't know. It's just this episode especially, just her confidence just seems shot. It just doesn't seem. But she had a solid performance. I mean, the first thing she said after stage was what? What'd she say right when they got done?
Oh yeah,
she's like,
I did it.
She's like, guys, I did it. And I was like, oh.
Everyone's like, good performance. She's like, I did it.
She's like, I did it. That's kind of when I was like, okay, hold on.
Hold the phone.
Let's hold on. And the I talk here is a little bit of a we, because you guys put on a really good, like
here's the other thing.
Very solid performance.
This podcast is all over the place, just like this episode is.
This is just episode,
because
honest.
When we were watching the actual performances, holy crap, I had no idea what was going on.
First off,
there was, like, I get the cutaways to, like, the fans and, like, you know.
Tired of it.
Oh, by the way, there's live fans here for the first time ever.
That's true. New stage.
There's, like, a cutaway from the fans to the group, to the coaches reacting, to the girls reacting, to backwardsing back through the song, replaying things that already happened. I had no, in the remix, were terrible sounding. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what part of the song we were in. People were just like going, doing things, singing. And I was even like, do these even sound good? Like, are you even doing good right now? Like, what's happening right now?
I agree. I'm with you. I'm in the same boat because it was like so much editing and so much like, in the backtracking is what always gets me is when you have like happening, editing, reaction, backtrack, editing, reaction, backtrack. Song moves a little bit forward. It's just, like, I get it because it's always like that, but this just seems like it's too extreme.
It was like a lot.
It's like overload.
Like
and you're
century overload. Like watching the Artemis video.
Oh my gosh, the worst. And you're like, where are we in the song? Who is doing good? I don't even know. And you're like trying to pay attention. And it was like that for every stage. So, I mean, we'll have to go back and actually watch like the cut of it where it's like just the song.
Yeah.
Like and I get you see some, but this is like a ton.
This was like a lot.
And we have to have so many comments from the little judges. And it's like, I don't know. It was. I thought it was just too much. It was too much going on to really see. Because I thought the Eisman one was like solid. Like I think they did a solid job. Sarang had a couple issues, but I really don't know if it was like super good or not. I don't know.
Everyone seemed to think it was good.
Yeah, they loved it.
Also, like, the other thing about that was too, they always will be the judges or whatever they are, producers will be the first ones to hate on anybody when they make a mistake. And like, oh, they need to hit this high note, and like, oh, they just couldn't get there. Like, it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or, ooh, they just kind of missed that mark.
Yeah.
But Sarang messed up not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Right? The Golden Child messed up multiple times. The number 2 picked trainee by the producers. Let's just mess up twice, and you know what they said? Oh, hey. Shake it off. Don't let it rattle you. That's all they said.
You came back strong, and that's what matters.
That's all they said. They really did not say anything about her messing up. Like, ooh, that was bad. Or, oh, that's unfortunate. They're literally like, oh, it's okay. Just shake it off. Don't let it rattle you. I'm like, this seems like a little...
They judge people differently.
A little biased.
They judge people differently, and it's kind of annoying. Because, like, something like that is frustrating because if someone else did that, they would get torn into.
If that was G-Man
or Jung-un, it would be horrible. But then there's someone like what they do for like Soo-jung, who does really good.
She does do really good.
And like and she does a good job. But then they're like, you're doing it too much like the original song. Like you need to do it with your own color. So this is disappointing. And I'm like, what kind of?
But then if she did it off the beaten path, like, they'd be like, you strayed too far from the content. We need you to be more like
they judge her so hard. That's what they did with her dance formation one too. They judge her so difficult, and I'm like, why are you so like? She can't do anything right. Like they're so bogus to her.
We asked for different, and you gave us different, but it was too different.
They're like, it was too different, so I just did not feel the original concept because you were
too creative.
I was like, yeah, like the dumbest comments I've ever heard come from these judges. I hate all of them. I don't know. They're just so all over the place, and they judge people differently, and it's really annoying.
They definitely have favorites.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Sarang messed up the song.
I don't know if they're told to have favorites, but they
probably
have
are, and that's just...
And Sarang even when Jimin was going on her little thing about, oh, I did it.
That's so
she was
funny.
in the background and she was like, oh, I messed up. Like, I know I messed up.
Don't worry, you're fine.
And no one said anything about it at all.
You're fine. So, yeah, I mean, the I-LAND one, I mean, there's 3 performances. That one was probably my least favorite.
Because then the second one was...
The 21.
The 21 song. And that whole thing was... Mai had some weird vocal thing she couldn't do or something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the funniest things that I heard, it's kind of mean, but honestly, it's honesty, when she was complaining about the part she had because she couldn't like say something appropriately because the way her voice sounded.
Yeah.
She's like, maybe I should do something else. And June was the leader. She actually did a pretty good job as the leader, I'm not going to lie. She was like, you're going to sound like that regardless, so you just need to work on your part. And I'm like, she's probably right.
I gotta be honest, because we're honest on this show. I've been a June hater the whole time. But I'm going to give her flowers today. She had a very good episode, and she was a good leader. She was a good leader. She had a good job. And she was, like, strict, but she was honest. Like, what she said to Mai was 100% true.
I mean, sometimes you gotta hear that.
She's honest. Yeah, she was a really good leader, and she led a very,
and we've said it before.
She led a good performance, and she did a great job. Like, I gotta give her flowers here. She did really good.
Some of these judges in other shows will, like, blow smoke up their asses, make them seem like they're, like, the best people ever when they're not doing good. She's literally said you're not doing good, and you need to just work on what you're doing so you can be good at it.
And she
actually helped them.
I was gonna say she backed it up because all the girls were in the room. I forget everything's connected there because it's like one building, but like they're in the room and they're kind of talking about Mai and how like she sings nasally or something, and they're like, oh well, like you know the problem and you're not talking to her to someone, but then like Jiyoon kind of heard that, and then she went and
helped her,
which that's what the leader does, and I always like. She was a great leader. She was the best leader of anyone.
And she like stayed up late at night, trying to like write the parts out to try to make them better for the members. So she like work with them and make the song better.
I mean, it was edited in a way to make her look good, but it's because she did look good and she did do a lot of positive things. So I'm gonna give Jiyoon credit. Had a great episode.
And honestly,
great leader.
The stuff that she said today, even if it was mean towards Jungin, it was like well deserved by Jungin.
Not good.
And this is like. Made Jungin look like the bad one this episode. Like they
it kind of switched. It switched. She became more of a heel.
Because June was actually like being kind of constructive and being like, "Hey, this doesn't sound good. You need it to sound good. You're the main vocalist."
Yeah.
Or blah blah blah. And Jungin's the one that looked like really cold and like mean about it.
She did. She didn't say thank you to them, and while everyone else was like bowing, they kind of flipped. They kind of flipped the script on him. But June had a really good episode, and I'm gonna give her credit. I really liked her leadership qualities she showed in this one.
My only goal for the rest of this show is to not go back on everything I've ever said on the show and like Jiyoon. So
I know
this is day one.
This is day one of oh no.
This is day one, and the Lord really does give his hardest, toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Because
to us,
my gosh,
she did a good job.
Also,
I always appreciate a good leader, though.
Also, if it does happen, we called this on episode 1.
So joke's on you because. We are who we thought.
I think I literally did say I can't wait for you to be the best person, in my opinion, at the end of the show.
I can't wait to vote for.
Can't wait to see you, KCON.
Oh, that's what we're
gonna have to remake my shirt that says #1 June hater, #1 June supporter.
I know, like cross it out with Sharpie,
but no, she had a really good episode. She was really good.
I liked their performance. It was my favorite. Really good. It was my favorite one. Yeah, she did a great job.
She was like going ham. Like,
she did a great job. She did a great job. She honestly might have been like the MVP of the episode. Their team was good.
I think they all did really good.
Juwon was good. Mai did really good. And
Sujung did really good.
Sujung did really good. I feel like they had awesome outfits.
I mean, I guess it is kind of split between the people in the audience and stuff. But I feel like some of them got a little lower ratings than they probably should.
Yeah, I thought that team should have been. Some of them should have been a little higher. June did really well. I don't really remember the other ones. I just know they were lower.
Mai was number 2. May was number 2.
Yeah.
Is it
I'm
May?
I'm not 100% sure how to say her name.
I don't either, because when they say I don't know. That's on me. I guess I got to pay more attention.
Yeah, because the live audience voted right after. They had like a light stick that you could vote, which is pretty cool. And then they'd go in the back and they'd show the score. So yeah, June was the highest there, and she deserved it. But I like that performance. It was my favorite one.
It was good.
But again, it had so many of those weird edits and cuts. I was like, what's going on?
Really high energy. Very good.
So then our last one was...
Who
was it? Was it Lovesick Girls?
Lovesick Girls.
Lovesick Girls.
That's right.
Because Jungin was last.
Yeah. And that was... the whole thing between that was like a battle between Yuju and
like Coco for the main
who was to be the
dancer
main dancer.
spot.
And Sadie was kind of the leader, but she really wasn't a great leader. But maybe it's because she was the youngest one out of all of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Jungin kind of took over and like not really bullied her, but kind of like told her what she needed to do.
She kind of just like became the leader.
Strong-armed her.
Yeah, pretty much.
So she basically told her what she needed to do, what she needed to look for and stuff. And they kind of determined, or Jungin determined, that even though it was a main dancer spot, which would have fit Coco, obviously,
Yeah.
that would be better off because there's so much rapping during that part. They needed a good rapper. And that's how Yuju got the part because Coco really couldn't like pronunciate the words correctly in English.
Right.
So that's what happened. And then, honestly, Yuju just kind of got ragged on by everybody for the whole episode practicing for that.
She had a rough episode.
She like got yelled at multiple times by the judges when they're doing their interim checks.
Yeah, because they did the intern with the team and then the intern with the judges too, and it just didn't go well either time.
And like it was like the part where, like, you need to do this better, like do this or do this, make this move stronger. And she wouldn't do it. She's like, if I'm telling you to do it, why are you not doing it?
I kind of like agreed with the judge. Like, Yuju's my favorite person in the show, but I did kind of see what they're saying. Like, just like go for it a little more. Just like
she seemed like she was being a little held back. Like she didn't want to commit to
I
it
almost feel like the judges were almost kind of like they need to try and make her mad because I feel if she gets mad, then she'll kind of overdo it, and that's what you need. Like it's like she was doing really good, and the rapping was really good, but the dancing did seem like it was a little bit like you could give more here. Like you need to give more for the performance, which is what they were saying. But then didn't like Coco and Sabi switch parts for something? I think they did, and
because they gave her a chance to switch, and she's like, "I'm more comfortable doing this." Like, okay, whatever.
So like, okay, fine.
And then Coco and Sabi switch parts. I guess I'm not sure.
I kind of missed where that happened, but it happened. So
and then they went and they did their performance, and it was good. And like Coco had a little rap part. Mainly they switched because Sabi was rapping a part, and then the judge was like, "Hey, can I hear Coco rap this? I think she'd be better."
Yeah.
Rap was a big part of this episode, apparently.
For that song, yeah, I guess.
And then they actually did the performance. The performance was good. Everyone did really good. Their only takeaway was Yuji was really quiet at the beginning. I don't know if that was like her or the mic. Or
yeah, it was kind of weird. I don't know what was going on.
Because then she was fine the rest of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she just wasn't turned on for that or what.
Yeah.
But everybody did really good. And then the biggest shocker of the entire night came when they ranked everybody. And of course, the judges have a hard on for Sabi and Coco. So they both did the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yuju was just like there, kind of in the middle. And Jungin got the second lowest score out of everybody who performed.
Yeah,
and she did awesome.
Yeah, Jungin was incredible. Arguably, if I was voting, like blind vote after I saw the performances, number one person.
So good.
Just sang so well, performed, had awesome charisma. For
great
the song.
facial expressions, great moves. The judges even complimented her on it.
Yeah, and we had like the replay of the certain moves and stuff. Like, especially again, like we knew she'd do better than an interim check, but she was literally perfect. And
the fans just were not feeling
the fans
it, apparently.
are there just to not care. I mean, she got the second.
Like, when I mean she did bad, I mean, Yuju finished third, and her votes were 31 votes higher than Jungin.
I just have no idea what was up with the fans there voting.
And Jimin had like 201 or something like that.
Yeah, Jimin had the highest of everyone.
And Jungin had 145.
And I would 100% thought that Jungin outperformed Jimin for the part they were supposed to do as far as like their own respective parts. I would have 100% been like, more entertaining was definitely Jungin. Just like a better performance, better performer overall, more power, more everything. Jungin, way better.
Like, I don't know
way
what
better.
they're trying to do.
I don't know what the heck.
If they're like trying to sink her or something. But all I can tell you right now is if she does not make the final lineup, this is the biggest mistake in the history of elimination shows.
We watching this, like, that would have been a great reaction just for that. Because we, like, both were like, what the heck? Like, because it made no... I thought she was going to get at least second. Because I kind of was like, Sabi's kind of weirdly, like, God level right now. So it's, like, hard to beat her. But I was like, oh, Jungin did great. She'll be at least second. Yuju will be last. No, she got easily last. And I was like, what do they want her to do? Right? Like, what is she supposed to do?
I don't know.
They literally just, like, don't like her. Like, it's just like, whatever.
I don't get it.
It was weird.
After her being like the best person for multiple weeks in a row.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Still
like,
is the best person.
It's weird. I don't know if we're gonna get some like, well, I guess we're gonna get, she'll be a focus coming up because of her and Jiyun. But
yeah,
my gosh. Like,
but the way it seems now, they're just going to use that to push Jian even farther.
Kind of seems like it because she became a good guy in this last episode, I hate to say. But I don't know, man. The fans there, I don't know what they're hearing or not hearing or who they like or don't like. But my gosh, I was shocked. I was actually shocked about that.
I do not know if I can stand a Jung-in-less group. I will be returning my K-Con ticket and not going.
No. I am sorry. I will not be there to see the I-LAND people. I don't know. That's pretty ridiculous.
I just don't understand
it. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
Fans,
make any sense.
If there's a reason you think that she did not deserve to be hired, let me know, but I do not understand.
Tell us why she was the second overall or second to last fan vote. I would just like to know why. What did she do wrong? What happened? I didn't see one mistake. She was way better than Sarang.
She was better.
She actually performed her part. I thought she was better than Jimin because I didn't think Jimin was that strong.
I think the only person overall that did extremely well outside of her was Jiun, honestly.
Yeah, Jiun did a great job.
She deserved to be high.
Yep.
But Jungin also deserved just to be as high, and Jiun was number 2. So.
I would have even put Jungin a little higher than Jiun just because I thought she really did perfect. It was like really good. I don't know. I thought I really enjoyed her performance, but apparently no one in the crowd did.
It just reminds me of when Brave Girls did the remix of Mask, and it was like spot on.
So good.
Best thing you after finishing dead last every single week.
So good.
Just put it together, the perfect performance, the best cover, and they got dead last.
Dead last again. Heck
like,
yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know. That's what just sucks. It's like, well, maybe she improves this or blah blah blah. Like, what is she supposed to do? It's not like she's been a huge like jerk.
It wasn't
the whole
like
show.
she was like, oh, I'm gonna be like position number 4, sub vocal 17. She's literally the main vocalist of the group.
Yeah,
like, that's what she did.
I was very confused. We were shocked. It doesn't make sense, and it's rigged. That's what it is.
I think it might be.
I think it definitely is. But so we had that. Then they all went back to the seats.
Yeah, then we're kind of getting like the final rankings for this week. I mean, there's no point in really getting into them too much because they didn't even finish them.
No, we'll see it next week. Yeah, because it was like the fans, and then the judges had a vote, and then they pretty much like added together in a way, and that's how we got the result we get. So,
and we got like the number 1 person who was Jimin, who almost had a perfect score.
I don't get it.
And then it showed
it's
like
not
a bunch
that I
of
don't
blurred
want
out
her.
ones.
Yeah, and that's what. And then we like didn't.
And then like Jean went
it.
from like 2nd to 4th, so that means multiple people finished above her,
So
which I
probably
mean
like Sabi and
Coco. Then the rest of them honestly don't really matter. Although at the end of it, literally at the end of it, out of all 12 people, Jungin was 2nd to last.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. There's no way. Like Yuri, I love you. You're adorable. You probably deserve to be at the bottom, even though you did really good this week.
Yuri's been very good the whole show. It's just like something you're like, well, she's probably just not going to make it.
There's no way you're only 1 spot below Jungin, even if it is the last spot.
It's sick. It's a sick game that they're playing right now with people's futures. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm just trying to support these girls' dreams, and you guys are making it extremely hard for me.
With your cheating. I just want to know what, like, I would love to sit down with these dumbass judges and be like, what'd she do wrong? Fans, what did you not like? Did you watch this? Songs up there butchering notes, and you're going to, like, be like, oh, she's great.
3rd place.
Great. Put her in the group.
I just don't understand.
Do we not respect the game anymore?
I don't think so. I think the sanctity of the game has been tainted.
I'm worried. I don't know. I don't know. It was pretty shocking. So I guess we'll get our.
We're getting really close to the end here.
We're gonna get our rankings next week of where people, I don't even know, and then we're getting into the head-to-head battle, head-to-head position battle, right? That's what we're doing.
Yes.
Because now it's June and Jungin time.
I feel like it's gonna be a very telling tale of the tape next week, seeing who's gonna be looking like the bad guy. And who's going to be looking like the good guy?
Because June's been the bad guy the whole time until this episode.
Now she has. And now she's actually like fine.
Now she's
actually like smiling, having a good time. She's happy. She's helping people.
I was just going to say, she was a great leader, but she's also like fun this episode. And
she actually was like smiling.
And you're like, whoa, so what's got into you?
I was like, wow, maybe you are my favorite person.
And not that Jungin was like frowning or anything. It's just.
I don't know. She was pretty pissed off.
She was, after June said that, then that was when she was like, what's up? But. She's never been like angry or anything any other time, so but she definitely kind of looked like a bad guy today.
It just reminds me of the whole swing of the old Tai Bing and
That was so stupid too.
In Girls Planet. She was like number 1. Like she was top 10 every time.
Just rigged her out of it.
And then just a couple episodes that made her look bad. Like
just
being a
horrible.
bad, poor sport.
Her and Tsuruki.
And then she was just like gone. Never came back.
She was like gone before the show was even like she was like gone in the show, or they're like not even show her anymore, and she's like still there.
Yeah, I know.
It was like booed. Oh my gosh, I loved her. Yeah, they got her out of there in a hurry.
It's amazing what some editing can do, even though they're not rigging it.
And then just like when they talk to each other, and you kind of make it look like they're, oh man, it's pretty bad. And that kind of happened to Tsuruki too.
Also, it's so funny because they literally could have put up that whole random video of her talking to Fuko, June talking to Fuko anytime they wanted in the show.
Yeah, amazing.
And they literally made it sound like the reason that she doesn't be friends with her is because Jungin was mean to her, and that's the whole point
She
of
didn't
this.
do anything though. I'm so confused.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
It was just like, oh, I just have a sour feeling because we switched positions. Like, I trusted her with my life, and she like threw it out the window.
June was so dramatic.
I don't know if I can trust her ever again because of this. And I'm like,
can't accept her friendship.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what?
What happened
did she
to
do
you? Why are you talking with Fuko in the dark, and why is this camera on right now? Secretly?
Like, what time is it right now?
Shouldn't you be practicing? Like, what? I was like, saw that, and I was like, this rigged ass show. This is reality TV. This is Flavor of Love. Like, really is Jersey Shore. Like, I don't know. That was extremely. It was just so weird because like cameras, you get the certain looks like multiple times. That one, super out of the blue.
Also, the one where, June was talking and she's like at the makeup stand, just hanging out.
Yeah.
And she's like talking to Jimin and she's like practicing over in the corner, and she's trying to hype her up to say that she could like do the note, and that was just it.
Yeah.
Just a random camera on like their makeup area, or the random one where it's like, it was like Jungin and June like literally sitting there like next to each other
when they're all talking about May.
Like May. Dead. Well, not that. The one with like dead silent, and then like Soo-jung or someone's there, and they literally get up and walk away.
Oh,
they're like, oh my god, are they gonna talk to each other? And they're like hyping it up and all this stuff, and like, oh my gosh, it's so intense. And then Jung just like gets up and leaves. Just not even a room.
Yeah. We're like, why are you even in that room?
I was like, oh my gosh, are they stuck in the same room?
They're literally just like little weird Sims standing by each other, and Jung just leaves.
Gets up and leaves.
But then when they were talking about May not being or being nasally or whatever, they're sitting on the same bed by each other.
Yeah, they're like sitting together, like talking.
Like, I don't know. We'll see next week. It's gonna start next week, and this is what we've been waiting for the whole freaking show. Is because that's how it's been built up. Well, this
and the 5-week fast forward that we got last week. 2 weeks ago.
That was a long time ago now.
Yeah, I don't even remember. But I don't know, this episode was interesting.
It was. I mean, it definitely seemed like us pumped up.
Kind of building up some weird rivalries. Like, we already know one of the people that are going to go head-to-head in position battles is definitely Sabi and Fuko. There's no way they don't.
Yeah.
Because they literally brought up today that Sabi's one like knocked Fuko off the thing multiple times.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see that because they like want to do the same position or something. Like, oh, whoa, this is a flashback of what happened before.
Right.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. They flashbacked a lot.
They're like bringing up stuff we don't even remember.
Yeah, just the random camera angles.
And Gary's just happy to be there.
Yeah, Gary, you've had a very solid show and done a really good job. You really.
She just seems so lost the whole time. She's like there.
She just seems like she's like, I just want to have fun with my friends. I don't want any of the drama, which I really respect that.
Pretty much.
I hope you get to debut in a group soon, whenever you want to. I hope it works out
on your timetable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that was this week's episode. I feel like this review is kind of all over the place, but honestly, the episode was kind of all over the place.
It really was. That's a good way to put it.
So
we're back.
Let us know what you guys thought. 'Cause, I mean, my gosh, what a headache.
We're back.
I think after today's happenings and the fact that Lightsum's going to water bomb in Saudi Arabia or something.
Yeah.
Model of the week's gonna be Nayeon. Blast from the past. I love Nayeon. I wish you were coming to KCON.
Lightsum, we love you so much.
By that, I mean, if you guys come to Waterbomb in LA, I'm going to fly back to LA.
We're skipping it.
At Waterbomb.
Let's just make them the same day. Or like the day before or day after.
Announce Waterbomb and it's like Triple S and
Lightsum. Weekly. Woo-ah. All your favorites that aren't at KCON.
For those who don't remember,
when are we even going to know who's going there?
20 plus episodes ago when we started this segment, I think my first 3 weeks, Nine was my idol of the week.
Light Some's really cool.
Because that was right in the middle of promotions for Honey or Spice.
Great song.
Maybe the best song I've ever heard.
Best K-pop song ever? Maybe.
Yeah.
Why are we not covering that on the show?
Nine with Light Some, you're back. We were doing it until next week when it's going to be Dosey because I'm going to be super excited to go see Purple Kiss.
We're going to be so close next week. Mine is a Triple S member, to be more specific, S2 Heron, because congratulations, girl. You are the leader of the new Visionary Vision.
Don't know how that happened.
Dance unit, and you got voted number 1. We already had Yuban and Lin, but the first voting, you were the captain of the team.
Oh, God.
I pray for that team because it could be a mess.
I hope that's just like an honorary, like, made-up title they gave you, but there's actually somebody there who's telling you.
And then, like, Knockyoungs just comes in.
Because, Heron, I love you, but you should not be in charge of anything.
Heron.
You're on my short list of Triple S members I would not trust around fire.
I don't trust you, but you are the leader of these girls, and we'll figure out the rest of them eventually. But good job, Heron. You got the votes.
Also, that's weird. We're only going to be able to select like 5 of the members, and everyone else is done by the company.
You're right, though. What you said is they need to be able to get other people in there that they know people won't vote. Like,
that's true.
You're right. Like, they need to kind of integrate.
I'm like, dang, they really just put a stop to having Love Lucian Part 2.
Yeah, they need to integrate people because people are just going to vote for the same kind of people. Like,
I mean, I was just going to vote for all the same people.
Yeah, like the most, like, you're going to have more popular people get more votes. It's just, so they got to kind of,
long story short,
they got to break it up.
To end it here, the new Grand Gravity is they're getting another 12-member group, or I guess the first 12-member group, called Visionary Vision, like a dance unit or something. I don't honestly know. But we get to vote for it like normal. Mm-hmm. But the way it works is there's 2 members already chosen to be in it, which are Lin and Yubin. Mm-hmm. We all got to vote for the leader of the group, who is 1 member, who is Heron, who won today. Mm-hmm. Then we get to vote for like 4 members that are going to be in the group. Then the other 4 members are like randomly selected by, I don't even know what it was, like Mod House or something.
Just the company, I guess.
And then some other members are picked through something else. But
so we vote for 4 more people.
Basically, out of the 12 people in the group, we were voting for 5 of them. 1 was a Heron, and then we have 4 more.
Oh yeah.
So that's really weird.
They're just trying to get the other people in there that might not usually. I mean, they're trying to make it work. So. Interesting. It is an interesting gravity. We're at an interesting point of Triple S doing stuff as a full group now. So,
but I mean, isn't that the risk you take by making this? Is you might have the same people doing stuff all the time?
Yeah, and you will have overlap. So, we'll see. I don't even know when the next voting thing is. It's got to be in a couple days or tomorrow.
Will this be the first group where Jiwoo and Chan are not together?
Probably not.
They've been together in every single group. Everyone.
That is weird.
Every single one.
Really weird.
Every single one of them's been in. The other one's been in too.
That's weird.
Like they were
rigged,
Crystallized together, a Symbol 10 obviously together, Evolution together, Aria together.
They were in Aria.
A Symbol 24 together.
If they're in this or the next one together, then it's rigged.
It's like,
I don't even know what's rigged.
It's like Steph Curry when LeBron James was in the finals. He only knew LeBron James in the NBA finals. That's it.
That is weird.
So I don't know. We'll see where that goes.
Triple S update for everyone. And hey, who cares where they live, you jerks?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's their life. So, all right, that's the end of the podcast. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah, we have a next week's episode, and we will see what actually happens because it's going to be an interesting one.
We'll be here for it. We love you guys. Peace.
Later.